It wasn't that long ago that we could go out and enjoy live music and dancing. Not only is it fun, but studies have shown that music can reduce stress, improve your mood, build social connections, and take your mind off things for a while. So AARP is bringing concerts to you with performances by some of the best artists. Watch from the comfort of your home, let the music move you, and maybe even dance your heart out. AARP is still your source for the most important information about the pandemic when you need it. Plus tools like Community Connections, a platform that helps you find support in your area. The coronavirus crisis will end. Until then, AARP is committed to helping you stay safe and connected through the days ahead.
Hi, I'm Jill Riley from the Currents Morning Show. You can hear me on the radio Monday through Friday, 5 to 10 a.m. So the early risers, I look forward to talking to you and having you listen to The Current. Tonight is about some local music, Minnesota music and conversation. And that's something that we really care deeply about at The Current. It's part of our mission to expose people to Minnesota music and really to make music a vital part of your life. And that's a big goal of AARP as well. And so they've put together this showcase, again, conversation and music with a couple Minnesota artists. I will be talking to Jillian Ray, and I'll be talking to Paviel French, and we will see a performance from each of them. So we're really looking forward to this. And again, a couple years ago, I was at an event, and I remember AARP being the sponsor, and I was kind of wondering, like, well, how does that work? I don't really see anyone my dad's age here. Now, I will say, I had to stop myself and really think about what AARP's mission is. What does aging mean? I mean, from the time that we are born, we're aging, right? We're going through these phases of our lives, whether they be landmarks. You grow up, you go to school, maybe college, career, marriage, children. I mean, everybody's path looks different, but you can mark it by that kind of occasion. You can mark it by the decades, your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, beyond, right? So aging, it's just a part of life. And, AARP, they sort of showed up in an unexpected place for me. And that's exactly what they were going for when they did that, because they recognize that music is something that we carry with us throughout our entire lives. It's got a multi-generational appeal. It's something that's actually really good for us as human beings. And as we age, and especially as we start to get a little bit older and up there in years, as they would say, not they being AARP, but yeah, probably my words. As I think about how do I take care of my physical body, my mental health? I mean, the great thing about music is it really checks the boxes. In fact, there was a recent AARP study from the Global Council on Brain Health that found that the power of music, it's good for your mood, it's good for your memory, and it's so much more. And when your mental and physical health are in a good place, it's really good for the body. And, the better health we're in, the more we can enjoy the process of aging. And AARP, really the purpose is to empower people to choose how they live as they age. And I'm so glad that you're making a part of your evening to support Minnesota music, to take in some Minnesota music. And I really appreciate you being there. We look forward to some great live performances.
Wanna feel. Don't know much about dinner parties. Never put the sugar in my coffee, no. I only like it strong. You can always have it any way you want. can't be the one you want me to be. I can't be the one you want me to be. I can't be the one you want me to I don't wanna be inebriated. I just wanna feel appreciated. I just wanna feel.
All right. Well, again, welcome to a great night of conversation and music featuring two great artists from here in Minnesota in partnership with AARP. I am happy to be joined by Minnesota musician Jillian Ray. It's so nice to see your face. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you doing?
I'm okay. It's really nice to see your face too, Jill Riley.
I think one of the last times I saw you perform, you were playing with the cover band, the Blackberry Brandy Boys. And boy,
Rest in peace. Those
I
were the
know.
good old days.
At Ice House, those were some really great shows, and just featuring so many different local musicians, just coming together to, like, I don't know if there was a pressure to do cover songs or if the pressure is off and you can just have some fun with that kind of stuff.
That was it. That's what that band was all about. It was just people that love the same stuff and love each other coming together and playing songs that we like. It was really great.
Yeah. Don't you miss those days? People coming
I
together?
really do. Well, when one of our bandmates moved out to LA, that's kind of the only reason we'd probably still be doing it. So, when life changes, the bands change, I guess. But
yeah,
I would do a reunion in a heartbeat. So
well, I'll be
just
there
going to
for
put
it.
that out there.
Let me know when it happens.
Yeah.
But, you certainly haven't slowed down. In fact, I have been seeing your name more and more, even during this time of a global pandemic, as you're kind of trying to figure out how to stay musically active during this time and how to connect with fans. And so, what has life been like what has life been like for you since March?
Wow, that's a question. It's been insane. I mean, I think that's everybody's answer, right? But I feel like, well, as you said, and as you know, my schedule has always been crazy. I have my own project and I play in a bunch of other bands. So I feel like I've never really had a slowdown point or a point where I've just, stopped. So, I mean, the first weekend that my show started getting canceled, I think it was like 4 shows over, a 3-day period got canceled. So it was just like the reality of, whoa, what do I do with this time? Just over a weekend. So that's why I started doing the streaming, was just, a way to like, okay, the show's canceled. That sucks. I don't really know what's going to happen, but maybe this will fill the void. So I don't know. Is it filling the void? Yes, for sure. Is it the same? No, it's not the same. But I think, I've just been winging it and just trying to figure out how to keep moving forward. I think just like anybody else who's an independent artist,
Yeah, exactly. And just what else can you do but wing it and kind of figure out the thing that works? Because, like for you saying that you're very busy playing in other people's projects, you've got your own thing going on, your breaks have been intentional. You've been able to be in control of those breaks. And, for a virus to be in control of that break, I mean, that's just got to be really frustrating.
Frustrating, yes. And also just shocking. Like, I feel like I have gone years without a real break, and then realizing going into a summer, let's say, like I need to take a week where I don't say yes to a show. And that's hard to do because then something comes up that you feel like I have to do this. So, I mean, maybe having like a 5-day to like a 2-week break has been like huge for me over the years. And now that it's been over 5 months, it's just, it's hard to wrap my brain around what has happened and the fact that we're still in it. Like, I feel like every day I have to kind of like come down from the thought that like things are so weird and different now, but that's our reality. So, I mean, we've got to still push forward, right?
You're always hiding in the dark, face only half in the light. What are you so afraid of? What are you so afraid of? You're always safe behind that mask. Show everybody what you think they wanna see. 'Cause being real only makes you feel uncomfortable, and we wouldn't want that. Oh, my wayward one, where are you going? Where are you now? Feels like I'm hiding in the dark. Been so long since I've seen the light. Sometimes I lay awake at night and wonder why I do this to myself. Oh, my wayward one, where are you going? Where are you now? Keep on running from the pain. A whisper from your screaming heart. A needle searching for the vein. My wayward one. Where are you going? Where are you now? Where are you going? Where are you now? Oh, my wayward one.
You've got, unrest in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
You've got really this moment that I feel like a lot of women in the local music industry are having, where there is a reckoning, and there are people talking about, abuses suffered, power imbalances, inequality in the music scene. I mean, there are so many layers and so many different things coming together at the same time. How do you deal with kind of thinking about all of that, everything that's going on at once?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like I'm a sensitive person, which I'm sure that just most creative types are. I feel like even before this, I've always been, very sensitive and empathetic to everything that's going on in the world always. I mean, if you follow me on social media at all, I mean, it's not just about my music. Like, I usually like to just post, humanity-based things that I'm thinking, and just, putting messages out there that I think are important, right? So I feel like now with that not changing, but being amplified by the fact that we're in this global pandemic, we're all home, I truly feel like, in a way, the pandemic and our new quarantined, isolated lifestyle is good for these movements just like catching fire and for things coming to the forefront. Because truly, I think, I hate to say this, I don't mean to sound jaded, but I think realistically, if life were just normal pre-pandemic, I don't know how much change we would be seeing right now, just with everything, with the unrest in Minneapolis, you know, with everything that has happened with George Floyd and beyond, you know what I mean? With, you know, inequality with women in the music industry, but just in general, I think the fact that we are all home and our schedules are non-existent, maybe to the extent that they used to be, I feel like we just have more time to think about this stuff and to organize and to really sit with ourselves and how we feel, but also what we can do. And I mean, what we can do is limited because of the pandemic. But again, I feel like that if I'm trying to look at the bright side of things, I think that that is a bright side of the pandemic, is that we have more time to make efforts toward these things that are important on just a humanity level. So that's my thought.
Yeah, and you know what, and as you mentioned, you know, being a creative type and being sensitive, and you know, as a musician, as somebody that has a microphone and a platform, and you know, that like the gift to write music, you know, there is something very strong in that, you know, you can really express a lot of positivity to people, you know, just by performing a virtual show, and that's something that you've been doing. So, I mean, how have you approached the virtual world?
Well, it's been just, like I said before, I've been taking it as it comes, and I've really been winging it. If you know me at all, which you probably, if you know this much about me, I am technologically challenged. So luckily, my husband, my partner, who's also my bandmate and my, you know, engineer and all things, like, I don't think that I would be able to do it as well or just keep my sanity in it if I didn't have him here with me to work on that. So, I mean, luckily I'm like partnered up in my quarantine situation with somebody who like understands how to work a computer.
Right.
But I mean, like, as far as how it's going and how it's feeling, I feel like for me, it was just a no-brainer necessity. Like, I don't know what it's like to just not connect with people on a regular basis. So I just tried to keep what my normal was going with the resources that I had, really.
I fought long and hard like a soldier. I thought all this work would get me something. Suddenly I don't know anything. Black is white, up is down, can't keep my head straight. What if nothing's really right? And nothing's really wrong either. What if nothing's ever black and white? Just a different shade of gray. I know nothing lasts forever. I suppose ever after looks better on paper. Suddenly I wanna feel everything, good, the bad, the free. Oh yeah, I'll take all of it. What if nothing's really right, and nothing's really wrong either? What if nothing's ever black and white, just a different shade of gray? Just a different shade of gray. Just a different shade of gray. Just a different shade of gray. Just a different shade of gray.
We didn't know back in March that as summer turns to fall, that we were still going to be kind of in this holding pattern. And as summer turns to fall, it's that time of year for the Minnesota State Fair. And, we're just trying to keep that kind of spirit alive of, the great Minnesota get together, but it's not going to happen in the same way. And, that was one of the reasons that the folks at AARP wanted to put together this virtual music event with a spotlight on a couple Minnesota musicians, because I know that they are missing that opportunity to, present music at the Minnesota State Fair. And, as far as the Minnesota State Fair goes, I'm sure you're missing that opportunity to be able to perform for people. But what is your connection with the fair? Why is it special to you? And it can be musically or just going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of both. Truly, I grew up in a very small town in way northern Minnesota. So my first state fair experience actually was with the Brass Kings once I was an adult living down here and performing at the state fair. And it was before the whole remodeling of the Shell stage. So it was whatever that was called before. But truly, like, experiencing it for the first time as an adult and a born and bred Minnesotan, it was crazy, but also just like, oh my gosh, this feels like home. This is definitely going to become a tradition. And I did always make it a tradition. I think most of the time I was coming to the fair as a performer, but I would always try to take a day to just go enjoy. And I mean, the happiest things in life for me are music and food. So combining the two, like, that's what the fair is, right?
What is your go-to thing for food? I got to know.
Oh man, it's hard to have one. I'm a Pronto Pup gal all the way. Oh yeah. Sweet Martha's. I always thought, like, what's the hype? These cookies can't be that amazing. And they really are. So I'm a bucket of cookies kind of gal. Deep fried raviolis. Vecchios, that's it's a stand I don't hear a lot of people talk about, but I miss that one for sure. And mini apple pies with the cinnamon ice cream.
I love that
I'm going to be missing.
You go to some of the big ones, but then you give some love to the underdog as well. So I really appreciate that about you when it comes to the food. But as a performer, as a musician, that's a really interesting way to experience the fair for the first time, and you have that connection to the fair as being a performer, and also with AARP.
Yeah. Well, the AARP thing was just such a cool out of nowhere opportunity. They, I believe, handpicked bands for this contest, which I think would have still been going this year, I believe. Kind of like a battle of the bands, sort of like, here's a handful of local bands that we've taken notice to. And they had a voting booth, and just whoever got the most votes was the winner, who got like a cash prize. And also the year that I won was I got to open for India Irie and Steve Miller Band at the Armory, which was the biggest venue I've ever played. It was just an amazing, incredible experience. And just like the weirdest, coolest lineup. It was like the best of all the worlds happening.
Yeah, I remember, now that you say that, I remember you getting that Armory gig. I remember somebody writing about it, in the local
media. It was amazing. Yeah.
Anxiety is running amok down here. Am I going out of my mind? Society is making me feel inept. Am I smart? Am I cool? Am I pretty enough? Maybe I need some meditation, sit down and calm myself. Maybe I need to tune you out. Maybe I need some medication. Open my mind, forget about it. Maybe I need something I'm not getting. I heard the cure to all of our sickness can be found in a plant that comes from the ground. But the men in suits who make all the rules say no, only pharmaceuticals. Maybe I need some meditation, sit down and calm myself. Maybe I need to tune you out. Maybe I need some medication. Open my mind, forget about it. Maybe I need something I'm not getting. Get me high, get me high, get me high. Come on and do it. Maybe I need some meditation, sit down and calm myself. Maybe I need to tune you out. Maybe I need some medication. Open my mind, forget about it. Maybe I need something I'm not getting. Get me high, get me high, get me high. Oh yeah. Get me high, get me high, get me high. Come on and do it.
Hey, I'm Jill Riley from The Current, and welcome to a great night of conversation and the spotlight on a couple local artists of Minnesota music in partnership with AARP. And I'm very happy to be joined by Paviel. Paviel, it's nice to see your face.
It's so good to see you too. Oh my gosh, it's been forever, Jill.
I know. I look forward to the day when we can just put those arms around each other. I mean, we have to just kind of do a virtual hug right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got you, right?
It's been a while, and here we go. We're at that time of year where summer is transitioning into fall, and back in March, there was some hope and optimism, like, hey, by fall we're gonna have this thing figured out. But who knew? We don't know. This is such a new thing. It's a new virus, and having something to look forward to, like the Minnesota State Fair. But here we are, and we're still really in this holding pattern, and we're still, just kind of in this period of time where it's not just a global pandemic, but so much has happened, especially here in Minnesota. So, before we talk much more about that, I guess, what have things been like for you since March?
Oh goodness. Everything just kind of flipped. I was, thinking that this was going to be a huge year for me because of all the things that I've worked for thus far. I was getting ready to debut a new symphony and just a lot of things. I mean, I had shows at the Walker and just all kinds of really good stuff that I had been waiting for to kind of move forward and possibly get out of here, tour, do all these different things. And then, COVID happened. And also the racial unrest and all the things that happened with the murder of George Floyd. And just, I've kind of been at a crossroads in a way, and just trying to figure out what's next for me as a human being, as far as liberating Black liberation, liberating myself, what I want to do going forward. So it's just been a very introspective time for these past few months, being at home, learning myself, and, coming out of some relationships and dealing with just all the life changes that are just consistently happening. What it seems like, it feels like 2 years, but it's been 5-6 months. Mm-hmm. So it's just trying to be flexible and figure out how to keep moving and how to keep going, and to check in with myself, because some things that I feel right now, I gotta figure out my feelings, even with the things that I say as an artist, just because especially with the racial unrest, it's like when you do a lot of political art and you do a lot of art that is about Black oppression and white supremacy and all these different things, because I just had this feeling like this isn't working quite the way that I need it to work. And this is not my work, and me being vulnerable as a Black woman and putting these things on the stage is not working in the way that I want to see it working. And so I'm just trying to figure out how, as an artist, I can grow in my artistry to do more things that are tangible, and do more things for my community, and just for the world to understand that there is a lot of anti-Black sentiment, and these things need to stop, because we are such a vital part of this world and this global community and this American community, mm-hmm. And everything that we have to offer as artists and as people, and just all the things that we do as a people. It supports this place. It supports all of us vitally. And so we need to be respected. Our art needs to be respected. Our lives need to be respected. And I'm just trying to figure out, how do I go forward with that message, that I'm done, for lack of better words, that I'm done with these things, with these systems, that we live within. And I'm not going to play into these games and play into these systems anymore. So it's so much, what I mean? Growth and things that are happening, and so much lights and bells and things that are going off in my head. And I'm finally starting to be a little more inspired because I wasn't inspired as an artist as much, this time, just because of losing all of the gigs and losing all of these things that I know put food, on my brother's tables, the guys that I play with, these things that we're doing, it's feeding us. And these things that, we're doing, this is our livelihood. So we were trying to figure out ways to keep going regardless, because I'll never stop, but I just gotta figure out how do we do this virtually now. And, how do I, to do something that is so based on the energy of the room and the energy of the people being near me playing and all that. Like, how do we flip this and continue this very genuinely going forward and keeping that energy?
Oh, yes. Hey, come on, come on. Ooh, yes, Lord. Oh, why? Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm beautiful and I have it all, and I am regal and I'm standing tall, and can't nobody say differently, 'cause me being me is revolutionary. I'm a woman, every facet, and I rebel in my blackness, yes. And I'll strive for our unity, 'cause me being me is revolutionary. Me being me is revolutionary. Yeah, yeah. Me being me is revolutionary. Yeah, yeah. Me being me is revolutionary. Yeah. Now I'm an artist. I paint with my soul. I pour my heart out. I let my feelings flow, 'cause that's the only way that I'll get free. Well, 'cause me being me is revolutionary. So pray for we that are speaking and fighting out here in them streets. May no weapon formed prosper against we. 'Cause we is revolutionary. We is revolutionary. We is revolutionary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me is revolutionary. Yeah, yeah. Sweeter than yeah. Oh, what up? We is revolutionary. We, yeah, is revolutionary. Yeah, we is revolutionary. We is revolutionary. Yes, it is. It's, yeah. Yeah. Come on, y'all. Take it home for me. Come on now. Woo.
Well, Papiel, I mean, the idea of boundaries and spending time and, for anyone who is religious or isn't, just the idea of prayer is like, putting out and asking, but anybody can sit and listen, to the answer, just to be quiet with yourself and take that time. And, that's why people meditate, and that's why people do breathing exercises, and that's why we sit and sometimes just be with ourselves and listen to the answer. And, that's just, it's really important for people's mental health right now. Mm-hmm. And kind of on that subject of, we're doing this event right now with AARP. And, as we age and we think about our health, our mental health, our physical health, how they're tied together, music is so, it's this line that we can kind of just connect from being kids to as we age throughout our lives. And it really, the cool thing is I think it checks the boxes. Mm-hmm. And I wonder what kind of music or even art did you turn to while you were kind of having that quiet time with yourself?
Oh gosh, all the revolutionaries, a lot of Donny Hathaway, a lot of Nina Simone, Bob Marley, Deb Prez, Mobb Deep for my anger days.
And you turned it up really loud, I hope, right?
Really loud, really loud.
The message was being heard. It was at top level, top volume.
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of jazz, because my mom, that was her thing, Ramsey Lewis, Herbie Hancock, Max Roach and the Freedom Now Suite. I listened to that a lot because Abby Lincoln's voice and how the actual Freedom Now Suite really sounds like the world today. If you listen to that particular song, it just sounds like the world. And it's so, the world is so loud. Facebook is so loud. Twitter is so loud. IG is so loud that it's like, it's a cacophony of all these wailing sounds and pain and people being tired of it. And I can like feel, the vibration bubbling up and stuff. And it just, that song in particular really, it's eerie, but it's painful and it's very now. Like for something that was written, I think he did that in like 60, 61, something. He did that for the first civil rights movement, or, I guess, yeah. I would say it that way. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just so, amazing how that music in itself still stands today. And it helps me wrap my mind around the conversation and the narrative and what I will do in my next batch of work that will come out of all of this, just because I don't want to continue to say the things that have already been said so many times, because these things still stand. We can listen to Marvin Gaye's album, What's Going On Today, and it would absolutely relate to everything that's happening now. I mean, Mercy Me, the ecology, all that stuff, mm-hmm. Inner City Blues, all these things are the very same. And because words cast spells, I want to be able to say certain things to push new narratives, to push new conversation, because we know what it is that's happening. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do next? What are we going to do to push this, to push back, as the people, because we are the people that hold the power. Hey.
All right, y'all, come on. Hey, la da da da, la da da da, da wait, da 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 da, yeah, la da da da, so da ba wait, da da da, so wait, da, sweet did it, sweet did it, da, hey, sweet did it. I got a story to tell. Yeah, I'm on my own, and I feel like I won't make it, because when I see the rain, it seems to pour. Yeah, and I'm neglecting health And all the time I tell myself I know there's something better in store. Well, now what you gonna do if you quit your job? And how you gonna live? Can't afford no cost. Now, if you gotta hustle when them times get hard, remember most of all rely on God and yourself, yes. But I cannot believe that these things are happening to me, and I cannot believe it, baby. Tell me what is going on. I cannot believe it. I can't not. I won't. I'm struck by disbelief, and I'm not accepting this. Yes, let the band rock. Hey. All right. I take 2 steps forward and infinity back. My bitterness deep, 'cause I was dwelling in the past, but I'm ever evolving and constantly changing. Woman of light, yes sir, I will make it, but habits are deeper than marrow. Yes, they are. You never impress minds that are narrow. So just keep it moving, move around and do your thing. And remember, most of all, you are a king or a queen. Yes, you are. I cannot believe it, baby, that these things are happening to me. And I cannot believe it, baby. Tell me what is going on now. I cannot believe it. What's written out here and it. I'm struck with disbelief, baby, and I'm not accepting this. No, I'm not accepting this. All of this injustice. I'm not accepting this. All of the collusion. I'm not accepting this. I'm not accepting this. Hey, smooth it out, y'all. Come And I'm not accepting this. Yeah.
You talk a lot about action, and
Yeah.
this no matter what, this is a turning point. Either we turn back or we go forward. It's certainly a turning point, and I've really just quite frankly, just even in our conversation, being able to hear how you were able to kind of sit quietly, process your own feelings, and then now, like being with me today and that being able to have the conversation about it. And then not only have the conversation, but then be able to share your gift with everyone and perform music, because that's where I want to see you. That's what I want you to be able to do. I want you to be able to share your music without the noise. You're fighting while the noise is going on, but this is the moment where, we can enjoy what you should be doing,
Yeah. I'm looking forward, to seeing a day, and not just for my children's children. I want to see the day
with your own eyes,
with my own eyes, and be able to live and revel in it too, and not just be, on my way out.
Right.
But you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to experience that type of freedom, to be myself and have freedom, just to have what it means to be an American citizen in a real way. I want to experience that, and I want people that are here to experience that, the people who have gone through the pain, to experience that, and the people who have gone through this whole thing as all people, to experience what it's like for all people to be free and to see how amazing and how much that vibration goes up higher when all of us are doing well, because it hurts everybody. This whole system. I mean, it's targeted to one specific people, as far as what I'm talking about with like Black oppression and POCs and, GLBT folks. But at the same time, just to see us all doing good, I think the world would drastically change. Our world would drastically change. Our country would drastically change, because I mean, shoot, we would all be working on all cylinders. Like, how is that not great? How is that not what the great point is when you're talking about making this place great? You know what I mean? Like, that don't even make no sense to me. Like, if we're all doing well, our school system is doing well, we're learning, we're eating, we're healthy, that's what's great. And, us being able to have the things that we need in our communities, that's being great. So I think that people should be introspective and really try to figure out what you think, as opposed to the voices and everything around you, because that's really what it's about. It's about getting back to your base and your understanding and growing in yourself. Like they always say, the revolution starts at home.
On and on. All right. Hey. Play some more, play some more. Yeah. Hey. Living, breathing, learning, struggling. Where's my father? Love my mother. Grew up humble, stayed in trouble. Aspirations, I watched them crumble. Knew more than I could say. Them premonitions on my brain. I'm tired of living my life this way, and I'm weary of this BS game. I need a step up, I need a change. I got to make this paper main, and all this work and nothing to show for. Sometimes I don't want it no more, but this passion inside of me won't let me let this music be. So if this is what I've chosen here, then this will be the life I lead. But I'm running, yes, I'm running for me, I'm running for life, I'm running for me, running for life. Hey, all right, now. Reaching, dreaming, pushing, scheming, wanting something to believe in, fighting demons, writing because my purpose has a reason. Chip on my shoulder, and it grows colder when you have no light. Nothing is free, it seems you're hopeless when you've lost your sight. Now the pressure's on and the show must go, and I may be young, but I already know that the business is rough and I'm on my own. I'm a soldier, so I'ma take my road. Beautiful blessings bestowed upon me within my birth. I will be me till the day my body leaves this earth. I'm running, yes, I'm running, child. Oh my Lord, I'm running, yeah. I'm running from me. I'm running for life. I'm running from me. I'm running for life. Come on, y'all. And yeah. Running. Hey, I keep running, child. Yeah, I'm running. Running. Two more times. Running. Running. Yes, I'm running for me. I'm running for life.
Hey, once again, I'm Jill Riley from the Currents Morning Show. And thank you so much for joining us tonight for some great performances from Minnesota musicians. Thanks to Jillian Ray, thanks to Paviel, both for the great conversation and for the live music performances. And thank you, and thanks to our sponsor, AARP.